Hello, my name is Gary, and I was raised in the western United States, so I'm a native English speaker. I hope that you will enjoy this YouTube channel. Thank you for joining us.
The 38 Letters from J D Rockefeller to His Son by J D Rockefeller, 1839 to 1937. The 20th letter. Take risks to take advantage of opportunities. November 2nd, 1936. Dear John, tomorrow, maybe before tomorrow, someone will live a rich life. The newspaper said his name was David Morris, who had just gotten luck at the casino and won a lot of money. He is the master in the casino, and at the same time he posted a life motto of this gambler: curiosity can discover opportunities, and adventure can take advantage of opportunities. You know, I have always disliked people who are addicted to gambling, but I couldn't help but admire this man. I even believe that with his almost philosopher's brain, if he joins the business world, he will become an excellent person. That does not mean good gamblers make good businessmen. In fact, I hate those who view business as casino. But I do not reject the spirit of adventure because I know a rule: the higher the risk, the greater the reward. Galloping the sea of commerce is the greatest adventure that life offers for everyone. My life's trajectory has been a rich adventure, and if I have to find out which adventure was the most decisive and most relevant to my future, it would be breaking into the oil industry. Before investing in the oil industry, my agricultural sales business was doing very well. If I had continued, I fully would have expected to become a major dealer. But all that changed when Mr. Andrews, a lighting expert, told me, "John, kerosene burns brighter than any oil, and it will replace others. Think about it." Well, John, what a big new market it would be if we could put our feet in it. The more things I hold in my hands, the more power I have. This was my opportunity, and letting it go was not only money losing, but also eroded my power in the wealth arena. I told Andrews I do. We invested $4,000, which was huge money, for us to start an oil refining business. I didn't think about failure when the money was poured into it, even though oil business had created many millionaires at the time, but also made many people bankrupt. I plunged into the oil refining industry and worked hard. In less than a year, oil refining brought us more profit than agricultural products and became the company's largest business. At that moment, I realized that it was my courage and adventurous spirit that opened up a new way for me to make money. At that time, there was no other industry that could make you rich overnight like the oil industry. This prospect greatly stimulated my desire to make a lot of money, and it also gave me the opportunity that I had been waiting for a long time. I told myself, I have to hold it tight. It can take me to the kingdom of dreams. But my next business strategy, which was to aggressively expand the oil industry, angered my partner, Mr. Clark. Clark was an ignorant, conceited, and weak man. He was afraid of failure and advocated a conservative business strategy, which was completely contrary to my business philosophy. In my eyes, money is like, if you take it out, you can do a lot of things, but if you hide it, it stinks. Clark is not a good businessman. He doesn't know the real value of money. When we have differences in important things, our cooperation will come to an end. Clark became an obstacle in my path to success, and I had to kick him out to break up with him. This was an important moment. If you want to win, you must understand the value of risk, and you must have the vision to create your own luck. Breaking up with Mr. Clark was certainly a risk for me, and before I decided to risk everything and get into the oil business in a big way, I had to be sure that oil wasn't going away. At that time, many people thought that oil was a short-lived bloom and could not last long. I certainly hoped that the oil supply would not run out. Otherwise, my investment would be worthless, and I could end up worse than the gambler in the casino. But the information I had received made me optimistic that the oil source was not going away. It was time to say goodbye. Before saying goodbye to Mr. Clark, I secretly pulled Mr. Andrews over and said to him, "We're going to be lucky. There's a lot of money waiting for us." Andrews did not disappoint me. A few days later, I pulled a few more banks to support me. In February of that year, after a series of preparations, I asked Mr. Clark to break up, and although he was reluctant, I made up my mind. Finally, we all agreed to auction the company to the highest bidder. Even now, thinking of the scene at the auction site, I still feel excited. It feels like gambling money in a casino full of thrill and excitement. It was a big gamble. I bet money and I bet my life. The company started the auction from $500, but it quickly climbed to several $1,000s and then slowly climbed to $50,000. This price exceeded my estimate for the refinery, but the auction price kept increasing, starting to exceed $60,000 and then gradually soaring to $70,000. That was when I started to get scared. I was worried about whether I could buy this company, a business I built with my own hands, with such a large amount of money. But I quickly calmed down and I warned myself like lightning, don't be afraid, because you have made up your mind. You must move forward. The competitor offered $72,000 and I did not hesitate to offer a price of $72,500. At this point, Mr. Clark stood up and shouted, I'm not adding any more, John, it's yours. Dear John, that was the moment that defined my life, and I felt it had an extraordinary meaning. Of course, I paid a high price for breaking up with Mr. Clark. I gave Clark half of the agency company and $72,500, but what I won was freedom and a bright future. I became my own master, my own employer, and no longer had to worry about mediocre people getting in my way. When I was 21 years old, I owned the largest oil refinery in Cleveland, and I have become one of the largest oil refiners in the world. Thanks to that action, the success of my life began. It's almost certain that safety first won't make us rich, and to get money, we'll always need to accept the necessary risks that come with it. Life is like that. There is no such thing as maintaining the status quo. If you don't advance, you will retreat. It's that simple. I see caution is not the perfect formula for success. No matter what we do, we must choose between risk and caution. Sometimes the chances of winning by taking risks are much greater than being cautious. All businessmen pursue profits and wealth. They must rely on creating resources and taking resources from others, and even forcing others to give up resources to enrich themselves. Therefore, taking risks is an indispensable means for businessmen to conquer the market. If you want to know how to take risks without failure, you only need to remember one sentence. Plan boldly and execute carefully. Love, your father.